kind of lost the fire a little bit. There was this like this cool moment in London, which I'm happy to talk about, that kind of like, I don't know, is a little bit woo woo, but amazing. So, yeah, my experience was it was tough. It was more survival mode. Looking back, I think like, I'm sure I didn't handle certain situations well. I think training at that level is super selfish. And I don't mean that in like a negative way per se. I just mean literally only focus on yourself. I think, you become super one dimensional. So it's like amazing. What a privilege to be able to focus on one thing and do it as well as you possibly can and only do that thing. Like, when else in your life do you ever get to do that? Even in like school, never. But at the same time, I think it does kind of make you really one dimensional. And I noticed that the women who stuck around for longer and longer just became these like really bitter, not great leaders, and not all of them. And I don't mean to disparage most of the people, but I just like didn't want to be that. I wanted to be, I thought there was, and it was a toxic time in a lot of ways. And I still have a ton of respect for those women. And I refuse to like hold any grudges or let any of that stick with me. Cause I think I told you this, Dan, but one of the things that I love so much and about what I see like certain areas of the men's team doing at the Charles, whether it's like you guys are going out and then race the next day, like none of that exists on the women's side. And I want to change that because I think it's bullshit. I think we're like conditioned to hate each other. And starting in the 90s even. So I just think it's bullshit. And I have so much respect for women before me, during me, after me. And so anyway, that's a tangent, but one of the things I want to work on.
So go ahead, Dan. Go ahead. One, Taylor, I want to give you a hug if I could. It's the only hard part about this thing. I remember that all happening. And I think also like this, you're right. There's a selfishness to it all. Losing a parent's never easy. Losing a mom's not easy. And, more than happy to share with you, like when in further detail, but just want to say with empathetically, like, I get what you mean by the fuel. And just to like, because you shared so much with us, I just want to let you know, like, it's a welcome place. We found out we were having Stella in January on New Year's Eve of 2014. And then my mom passed away and 3 weeks later, and so, my drive to be a dad for her is like that, it's endless, right? So it's endless. And I think, but I also really compensated with that loss with just trying to do too much. And ironically, trying to bring the Olympics to Boston, like making that happen. And so I really value your openness with us. I really love that you're putting that out there for other people to hear. And I think that we all know this, and I got to say it because like, as a parent, like I would have done the same thing. I would have told you it was fine. And I would have want my sickness as a parent to hold you back. That's what we parents do. That's what your mom did. And I believe that she was watching the whole time. And man, you're a badass. I just want to say that's just my way of trying to say thank you. And you're not alone. And, you got us as friends. And there's a lot of people out there that when they listen to this, they're going to say thank you too.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Just to go back a second, and I echo Dan's sentiment of appreciate the candor. What was that moment for you? It's really interesting as far as like, I can't imagine the stress, just more like psychologically of you're right there. You can see it. There's a ticking clock. It's a finite line in the sand as to when the Olympic final is going to be. And you're either going to be basically, as they say, on the train or not on the train. What was that kind of couple weeks, if you will, as like, all right, you're back in the flow. There's a real shot of your name being on that short list of being in the boat and then actually getting named, because we've had a lot of people on the show talk about like that moment of like new, or I found out. And it was like, it wasn't a lot of, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So I'd love to hear kind of your take on that, because it's a pretty epic moment for a lot of folks that we've had on the show, and everybody's reactions are a little different.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good question. Well, it's funny. Oh man, I wish I could like ask you guys all these questions too. But, I feel like when like to answer that, my brain is sort of going to this place where, when you're, people are asked like, what was it like? Like, what was it like? What's your favorite memory? And everyone thinks it's the
Yeah,
Olympics,
sure.
but for me, it's really like a set of like specific moments that I think I just proved to myself, like that I could do it or that I was strong, and just sort of like overcame something internally a little bit. And so one was, having been out of the water for 15 or just not rowing for 15 weeks. And, if you've been injured, what it's like where you just see people getting faster, getting better, doing all the workouts where you have to sit on the sidelines and it's in front of you. You're right there at the boathouse. You're, going to practices, and it's important to show up obviously and show that you're working. But that was tough mentally. And I still have a hard time going back to Princeton, I think, because of that, to be honest. But one of the things I'm most proud of, and so again, I think I was given the gift, which I don't think everyone would have been, to be paired with Caroline Lind after I was coming back. And she was not the strongest erg, so we were probably closer on the erg performance-wise that me getting back. But she was definitely one hell of a pair rower, and I probably learned how to row from her more than anybody. And I got to row with her right when I got back in the boat. And I think it was like the first week or second week I got back, we started doing these 9Ks in Chula Vista, where every Friday we would do 9K time trial, like for like 5 weeks or 4 weeks leading up to NSRs. And goddamn it, we won everyone. And I fucking loved it. Like, that is what I am just so proud of, because I like had to sit by the sidelines for 15 fucking weeks, and I got to win, and I got to start first, and I got to see everybody, and I got to see us walk away, and I got to be with Caroline.